brand new update dropping very soon in Marvel Snap, this time introducing collector tokens, which is going to allow you to acquire the cards that you don't have yet in your collection. And in this video, I'm revealing my top 10 card choices to use your valuable collector tokens on. And if you're ready to find out what are the best use of your tokens, then you know what to do. Find that like button and let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello, Valley Maniacs. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you're all ready for these collector tokens coming to Marvel Snap. Should be coming later today or tomorrow, but very, very soon. And you're going to use these to build up your collection, getting the cards that you want. You could pin the cards that you want, and then when you have the collector tokens, then you could buy the card that you want. And in this video, we're counting down to my top 10 choices for the best cards that you could use your collector tokens on. Now, we're going to stick to pool 3 cards in this video, which is going to cost you 1,000 tokens for each card that you acquire. If you're going to pool 4 cards that get a little more rare, cost goes up to 3,000 cards, and pool 5 cards, which there are a few of them that are going to be introduced in this next update, goes to the 6,000 tokens. Now, based on your collection level, if you are under 1,000 collection level, as soon as this update drops, you're going to get 3,000 tokens that you could use to get 3 pooled 3 cards. If you're in collection level 1,000 to 2,999, you're going to get 6,000 tokens, which you could use to acquire 6 pool 3 cards. And if you're above 3,000, your collection is almost complete, well, you're going to get 12,000 of those collection tokens. So we're going to stick to these pool 3 cards here. Each of them costs 1,000 collector tokens each, and let's go right into the list. Let's go to the top, the number 10 spot. And starting off this list is a 6/4 card. Very, very good combos with this card, especially at the end of turn, and it's Leader. Because what is Leader gonna do? It's gonna copy all cards your opponent played on this turn, but on your side. So I see some powerful synergy with cards like Professor X. You play Professor X on turn 5, locking down, winning a location. And then on turn 6, you come back with Leader and match any points that your opponent plays, but on your side. So if you already have one location and maybe the second one's contested, you play Leader, well, that should win you that third. Very, very strong card, very tricky card, especially if your opponent's not expecting Leader, because I don't see him in a lot of meta decks, but it could fit well in a lot of meta decks. So this is a card that you seriously should consider using your tokens on. If you need a good card, Leader is a great one here, guys. All right, next on the list is Patriot. This is a 3/1 card, and what it's going to do, your cards with no abilities are going to have +2 power. This is an ongoing ability, which means that, yeah, all your cards that you had, your early starter cards like Hulk, Misty Knight, Abomination, some of these are the cards that really threw out of your hand because they didn't have a whole ton of value. Well, Patriot is going to bring them back. He's going to give them extra power and synergizes very, very well with cards like Onslaught and Ultron, who summons a lot of bots with no abilities. So you could create some very, very strong effects, and you could clone this effect with a character like Mystique, who clones ongoing abilities, so you could do this twice. You could also run your ongoing abilities with a card like Spectrum. So a lot of great synergy here, but a lot of the synergy for Patriot is going to be all your non-ability cards that you got in the beginning. Moving on to this list is another very, very strong card and a lot of strong decks, and this that's in a lot of strong decks, and this is Death. Starts off at 9 out of 12, but could get this all the way down to 0 out of 12 with the right synergies. I like pairing Death with cards like Debris and Killmonger and getting a lot of kills very early on. Cards like Nova works very well with Death, but one of my favorite pairs is Deadpool, because every time Deadpool dies, you can return to your hand at double the power. So if you keep pairing Deadpool with Death, you could have some very strong cards at the end of the turn there, especially if Death is 0. If you've done well with Deadpool, he's a 1-cost card, and then maybe a 5-cost card with someone like Taskmaster, just matching the power of Death. It's gonna be a very, very strong combo. So Death is a very, very good card, and I like to use her with Deadpool, but also very good with this card right here, Wave. This is a 3/3 card. On reveal, the next card in both players' hand costs 4. So your 1 cost cards will cost 4, your 6 cost cards will cost 4. If you have Death and it costs 9, nobody died, well, that's gonna cost 4 as well. And you could get some very, very strong combos with Death, especially if you play Death on turn 4, then Taskmaster on turn 5. That's some big 12 power that you're adding up there. But Wave also goes along with Sarah and a lot of the meta decks nowadays that just get you more cards out there quicker. Very, very good card. A lot of different meta decks out there feature Wave. So this is a card that you should not sleep on if you see her pop up in your store. She has some good synergy with this card as well, Sarah. This is a 5/5 cost card, and it's an ongoing card, and every card in your hand cost 1 less. And this is a important card in so many decks. The Sarah Miracle deck is obviously named after her. The Bayro, very, very strong deck featuring a lot of meta cards nowadays, and getting a lot of synergy with cards like Mysterio, Hood, because you want to play a lot of your low cost cards. So your 1 cost cards, well, they're going to be 0. You could play a lot of those cards. Your 2 cost cards are going to cost 1. Your 3 cost cards are going to cost only 2. So you could play a lot of cards on turn 6 when your opponent is not expecting a lot. Maybe they will if they see a Sarah card, but if they're seeing a lot of power and you're just dropping a lot on at once, very, very good, especially when you're trying to climb up ranks, trying to get all those cubes there. If your opponent thinks he's gonna win, then they're gonna snap and hopefully let you get more of those cubes, especially if they think they're gonna win. So this is a very tricky play with Sarah. Very, very good. Let's move on to one of the top decks in the game right now, and that features Destroyer. The ongoing Destroyer is one of the top decks in the game, featuring Destroyer and a card like Spectrum. You also can pair this card with someone like Professor X. Also a card like Armor, so that you don't destroy any of the other lanes that you're winning. Cosmo pairs very good with Destroyer, because if Cosmo stops your on reveal abilities, and if you're not destroying your other cards, that's just a big 16 cost card that you're laying on there. So Destroyer works very well, can be very tricky. You need to set up your other lanes with cards like Professor X or Armor, maybe even Colossus, maybe even Winter Soldier, and having a Bucky Barnes and having a Winter Soldier drop in that last lane. But so many meta decks nowadays feature Destroyer, and it doesn't take a lot of extra pull 3 cards to make that team work. So Destroyer ongoing, very, very strong. This should be one of your top choices if you don't already have Destroyer. Moving on to the next deck though, and this is a Lockjaw deck. 3 cost card is and it gives you 2 power, but what it does is allows you to play a card here and swap it with a card in your deck. So you can play a low cost card like an Iceman, giving your opponents costing one of their cards costing a little extra. You could also play a card like Scorpion, which decreases the power of all their cards in their hand. That it will disappear, and then you're gonna place something in your deck. So if you have a lot of strong cards in your deck, like an Infinite, like a Hulk, like maybe a Death, you play one of those lower cost cards, maybe even a Yellow Jacket or Wasp that costs 0. You get those other cards in there, and yeah, you have a lot of strong cards for very little cost with this Lockjaw deck. Jubilee is also another strong pair to go with Lockjaw. Dracula is another great pair to go with Lockjaw. So much that you could do with that trickiness that Lockjaw offers. So if you don't already have Lockjaw in your deck, this is a great card to add and opens you up to so many other combos. Moving on to the number 3 card in this deck, and this card is at number 3 for me because I did unlock the season pass for Black Panther, and if you have Black Panther, this card is going to be so much stronger because when Arnim Zola destroys a friendly card here, you're going to add copies of it to other locations. Well, all their on-revealed procs are going to proc again at that new location. It's a 6/0 card, and so you're not getting any power directly from him, but you could fake out one lane. You could make your opponents think that you're going to go really strong on one lane, and then the last turn, you destroy that card and move copies of it to other locations. A lot of times, this is really trick the opponents, but as Zola is becoming more and more prevalent, it's not as tricky. And if you don't have have a card like Black Panther that really makes use of Arnim Zola. One card that has helped me win some matches is a Spider-Woman, which is still pretty strong card, has a pretty decent power level, and you're gonna screw up some opponents there. So Zola pairs well with a lot of cards, better with a higher cost better with a higher powered 5 cost cards I like to pair Zola with. So Black Panther works perfect on that situation. Let's move on to the number 2 card in my opinion, and these cards get a little extra for me because I don't have this one, and it is Mystique. Pairs so well with any cards that have ongoing abilities. So on reveal, if the last card you play has an ongoing ability, this card gains it. So cards like Patriot that gives a +2 to any of your non-abilities cards, well, she could also gain that ability, which effectively means if you play Patriot and then Mystique, you're getting +4 to all of your on reveal cards. So a lot of strong effects like that you could pair with Mystique, and makes her one of the stronger cards in the game in my opinion. Also, you could pair her with Wong, which is a very, very powerful combo. If you see some of these higher level matches that have scores over 100, over 200, a lot of them have a Wong Mystique combo in there. Onslaught is another one with a great ongoing ability that you could pair with Mystique. So a lot of strong combos, and in my opinion, the number 1 card that I want in so many of these strong on reveal decks, and like I said with Mystique, the deck, these matches that you see with very high scores, 200 plus, 400 plus, a lot of them, most of them will feature Wong on that deck. Wong Mystique is a very strong combo. It is a part of this on reveal meta that's going on right now. So characters like White Tiger, like Odin, like Dr. Doom fare very, very well with Wong, and that is my top 10 cards that I think players should use their tokens on. Are there any cards that I forgot? Are there some that you think I should have left off this list? Let me know in the comments, guys. Hopefully the update drops very, very soon, and we can start to enjoy some of these new tier 4 and tier 5 cards, and we could enjoy these collector tokens and start customizing our collection a little bit. But that is it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know who you're gonna upgrade once this update drops, and have a great rest of your day, guys. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Check me out on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Check out some of the merch in the store down below at TeePublic and BlueStacks. It is my emulator of choice. I will see you guys next time. Get that Hulk fist, but before you go, ValleyFlyin out. Have a great one, guys.